I recently came across this video on Instagram by Dom Visuals. You can look him up. He recently posted a video he did for one of his artists, and it had like the smoothest money falling effect that I've ever seen. So I wanted to find a way to recreate it. Upon further research, yeah, he mentioned that he did this using AI. So this will be an AI tutorial for how to do this. You'll definitely need to find some money notes on Sketchfab or on TurboSkid. I think this is like the one he used, these perfect $50 notes, 50 euro note. Yeah, and you can buy it for 29 USD if you feel like. But if you're a thug like me, you can find some ways around. I was able to find one free one. Yeah, does it come with a $50 note? Yeah, this is the one that I actually downloaded. I'll put this link on the description box in case you want to do this, but it will come in an FBX format. I'm not sure whether it comes with all these notes. I'm pretty sure this is the one that I downloaded, and it comes in an FBX format, which you have to convert using Blender to an OBJ, which is readable by Element. So I'll also have it linked down below in case you want to try it. Real quick, if you're a video editor working on After Effects, I recently released this insane plugin that works on After Effects. Comes with 100+ VFX presets that you can also preview before you apply. I've made multiple videos showing the use cases for it and what you can do with it. I'd highly recommend checking it out in case you're interested. For now, let's go on with this. Assuming you're working with a static clip like this, on top I have like the rotoed subject. This will help us with adding depth of field and perspective, and right below it's everything else. I'll start by adding a new solid and put element on it. Scene setup, I'll import my 3D money file, which is like an OBJ, which I converted from FBX using Blender. Hit OK, normalize size. I'm more interested in the other face, so I'll click on the rotation tool and turn it around, then hit OK. Currently you can see that it's right behind the subject. It's because the solid is below the roto layer, so I'll put it up. Then go under group 1, particle replicator. You can move it around where you find it best. Go on rotation. We're going to keyframe the X rotation so that it starts like semi-folded. Yeah, so that it can start like somehow like this. Keyframe that. Then at the end, we can bring it up to like back to perspective. I will keep it maybe like -3 so that it's not like completely straight. Easy is. So our money will move like this, but we need to make it more punchier, more faster in the beginning. So lift this up, and I can like also stretch this second keyframe while holding shift just to keep it within the position. So now we have like a quick turn. Now one thing about animations, they should never like stop. So after this second keyframe, I will go like slightly ahead and make sure that it keeps on turning even after the animation is done, so that we never have anything static. You can also flip it on the Y, which is very optional, not a must. So I can start it either like this or like this, maybe slightly like that, then animate that again back to 0, I'm guessing. Yeah, that is okay. Now one of the more important animations from here will be a Z rotation, so that it can also like twist or turn around. This will be like very low key, doesn't have to be a lot, so I'll put it like from -13 to 0. I will ease that one, since these are the most like important animations on here. Yeah, I think I can push this keyframe a bit from here. I'll reduce this to maybe like -6 so that it doesn't like have too much turning to do. And this will be our basic animation for this paper. It starts semi-turned and then it turns around, which is like a good thing. We can add a little bit of folding on the paper, right under particle look, under deform, make sure it's enabled. We can do the twist X a little bit, and this is what it will do to the paper if I move the value around. However, this is not like the best thing to do to a paper, since these deform properties are mostly good for 3D objects like geometrical objects, cars, titles, stuff like that. I'll put a little bit of a twist as the paper turns around, so keyframe that. We'll make sure that it starts at 0, because if it starts twisting before it turns around, it will have like this glitch. Let me show you. Yeah, if I start twisting it right now, it will have a glitch. So I'm waiting for the paper to be like almost like upright to begin twisting it. Yeah, and the twist is like very low key. We are not even like doing too much on the twist. space that out. Yeah, that is good. You can also like add a noise. Make sure the intensity is like not too much. Anything above 100 would give you some glitch. I'd put the intensity under 50, so maybe around 40%, because if you don't, somewhere around over here, if I render at full, there are lines which start appearing. It's basically because of what I just explained. Yeah, so it's advisable to just keep this value very, very low key. I wouldn't recommend this a lot, but since this is appearing for like a split second like that, you can get away with it. And then once you put the intensity up, you can keyframe the evolution, and this is what the evolution will do to the paper. If I bump up the value right now, you'll see the paper like moving around, and then you can even like change the seeding for this. So this is one small thing that you can keyframe, and I think you can also like ignore it. You don't have to do this. So I leave it like that. The most important deforming property over here is the twist, which we just did. To help with the perspective, it's good if you go to your position XY, keyframe that, make sure that it starts like a little behind so that the note can feel as if it's coming towards the screen. So we are starting at 800, and then as the animation or as the video goes by, we bring it back to 0, which will bring it closer to the screen. Yeah, and I'll make sure it also starts like almost at the same time with these other properties. Yeah, and I think it can also like even go much further behind. Yeah, this will give it that realism kind of effect as if it's coming towards the screen. I need to ease that keyframe so that this animation is smoother. So basically this is the foreground money that will show. We can do some more polishing later on. Now we need to add the background money. So add a new solid again. This time you can see that it's right behind the roto subject, which is good. Let's do the same things that we just did. Put element, go to scenes, setup, import the same object. This time I don't need to rotate it since they will be rotating within here. I'll turn off the other solid for now. Go to group 1, particle replicator. We need to have multiple dollar bills, or are these euro notes? Yeah, then I can put it under sphere. You'll end up with some more money, literally and figuratively. Then under replicator effects, go to scatter. We need to bump up this value. So for the main scatter value, I'll put it to 100. You may not see anything right now. Change the random seed value so that you can always like be wary or cognizant of where things are. Then one of the main values to look at will be under particle look, particle size random. Make sure to increase this value so that these money don't have the same size, which will also help with perspective or POV. Then I'll go back to scatter. I'll scatter under z-axis 100 so that they are more spread across this plane. X scatter and Y scatter, maybe I can just put something like 20 or 40. Yeah, but this is something that you can always change as you go by. Once you set that up, you need to go to position Z and push them way behind the subject. And then you can change the placement by again going to the random seed, which is under scatter. Change this value to get a different outcome every time. Okay, so I think this will be good, and I can go under position Z to look at them, and I can also use position XY to move them around. But yeah, I feel like this is good. If you want, you can increase the particle count depending on what you're looking for, but yeah, I'll just keep it at 24. The main animation that we're going to do over here will be the random rotation for the y-axis. Note, this is not the normal rotation under particle replicator, but it should be under particle look. Under particle rotation, there is a rotation random XYZ. Yeah, this is the one that you're going to rotate. So keyframe the Y. I can change the value, increase it a bit. Now I can animate it, start my first keyframe over here, and then as it goes by, make sure these papers or these dollar bills, these euro notes, make sure that they keep rotating. I'll ease and spread the keyframes. Yeah, and that will make sure that they rotate within this axis. Since I said this is like the main animation, just make sure you also edit the keyframe, the graph for it. Playing it back, you can see they are rotating like this. One more thing, just as I told you earlier on, I would push the second keyframe while holding shift so that this animation keeps on happening much longer over this duration. So they will start in a very punchy manner, but then they will keep on rotating. To sell the floating illusion, go to the normal rotation parameter, and right now we'll just rotate the Z Okay, so keyframe that, add a keyframe and make sure that they rotate. As always, easy ease, and I'll move the keyframes so that it makes sense. Okay, I'll reverse these movements so that they feel as if they are falling down instead of rising up. So I'll swap these keyframes, which means that we are starting our rotation at plus 145 going towards 0. Yeah, but it doesn't really matter. To sell this effect even more, you can keyframe the position XY, maybe start a little bit higher up. As the video goes on, drop them down more. And now you can see that they look as if they are actually falling from the sky. Yeah, and I'll put this keyframe before everything else so that this movement is always happening even before we start seeing the video. Don't even need to easy ease, but you can do that. This is what everything is looking like. Yeah, only thing that I don't like is that this foreground money feels as if it comes to the screen and then it settles down. As I said earlier on, you need your animations to always be moving. So I'll push my position Z and X rotation so that this is always like continuous. Yeah, and I'll also push the Z axis. Yeah, so this is our animation for now. I think I'm okay with it. Maybe I could alter my position Z keyframe, yeah, so that it feels more smoother. And yeah, I think this is good. Now it's all about cleaning up everything. We can add the curves and put a small S curve. So go to your effects and add the curves. Just add a little bit of contrast. I'll copy the same effect to our background. And for the floating money that are in the background, we can also go to the lighting under render settings, lighting, additional lighting, rotation. Yeah, you can rotate the lighting if you're not comfortable with what you have. But then the most important of all here should be a blur to give us that depth of field. If I had BCC, I would use BCC, but I'll use a sapphire blur, which I feel like it honestly comes close to that. You can also use Gaussian blur, fastbox blur, maybe put this value at 8. Yeah, and this should help with adding a depth of field. Then on the foreground, we can add a small glow. So I'll go with optical, keep these at like 4, and then I will increase the size a load. Make sure the alpha channel is on extend. This will give it a noticeable touch. It doesn't even have to be very high key, it can be low key, maybe like at 3. I'll reduce the amount. I don't want this taking the attention. Yeah, it just needs to be very subtle and noticeable. I'll add an adjustment layer. Let me just give it a different color. I'll also put an optical glow. Start with the video glowing up. I'll also increase the size, then keyframe the glow amount to go from 4 to 0 within like no time. I noticed the importance or relevance of adding this glow on the reference video by Dom that we saw earlier on. Yeah, I'm still having issues with my Z position for this. I've done a little bit of tweaking on the position Z keyframes. I think that's the one which I was having a little bit of glitch with. Yeah, now I feel like we have something smoother. And then I can enable the glow that starts. There goes our final animation. It's looking clean, very subtle, and kind of does the job. Yeah, and this is how you do this 3D floating money thing. Yeah, looks very clean. I have some more 3D stuff tutorials coming your way, so make sure to stay tapped in. Feel free to also suggest other concepts that you think are worth breaking down in case you come across them. I'm pretty active on Instagram at Danny James. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Yeah.